We're going to talk about marginal cost and average cost. Marginal cost is the increase in total cost that results from a 1 unit increase in total product. And when we're talking about increasing marginal returns, that means that as we make more and more of a product, the cost of making that extra unit of product actually decreases. So our marginal cost decreases. Diminishing marginal returns, in contrast, means that as we make more and more product, the cost of making that extra unit, the marginal cost, increases. And that's pretty much the gist of marginal cost. And we'll probably look at some graphs later to further explain how it works. But let's go through average cost first. Average cost measures can be derived from each of the following total cost measures. So we're really using these cost curves to calculate average costs. So total fixed cost per unit of output, that's average fixed cost. Average variable cost is the total variable cost per unit of output. Average total cost is the total cost per unit of output. And the formula for that is ATC equals AFC plus AVC. And if we break it down to the calculations, it's total cost over output equals to total fixed cost over output plus total variable cost over output. So here's the graph that is represented from these calculations. So what we did is we took, for average variable cost, we took all these costs and we pretty much divided it by the output. So for this, let's say this point here, we just took the total variable cost, which is 25 divided by 4, because the cost is 25 here, and that is 4. So that's 25 over 4. And we get a ABC result of 6.25. Calculating another one, 50 over 10. So we're taking this point and we're dividing it by that point to get the average variable cost. For AFC, we're actually taking the same thing, I believe. No, we're not, because for this point, we're doing 25 divided by 10. So we're just taking the cost divided by 10. So we're taking the same point on the TFC and we're dividing it by the output. So we're taking the cost divided by the output, cost by the output. And that's where I got these numbers. And taking the results, we could plot these graphs. So result for AVC is 6.25. So 6.2, the cost is 6.25 here, and then for the next one it's 5. So you can see that I have 5 here. The next one is 5.77, and you can see that I have 5.77 here because it goes up a little bit, and then 6.67 again goes up a little bit, and then 7.8 again it goes up a little bit. And for AFC, we start at 6.25, so we start at the same point. This is the intersection point between AFC and AVC, and we go all the way down to 2.5, which I suspect is somewhere around this general area. And then we go down all the way to 1.5625, which I believe is around this general area. And that's basically it. That's how I got these two curves. Just to describe the behavior, you can see that the AFC curve shows it shows that average fixed cost decreases as output increases, because as output increased, the cost decreased. Has a downward sloping structure. So for the average variable cost curve, we have a U-shaped curve. You can see that as output increases, AVC falls to a minimum, and then it rises again. So you can see that this is, I could show a simple example of increasing marginal returns here, that as output increases, right? This is output. As it increased, our costs actually decreased, but then it decreases up to a certain point. From that point on, we experience diminishing marginal returns, whereas we increase output, the marginal cost starts increasing faster, which shows upward slope from the minimum point. So the average total cost curve is actually also U-shaped, and the marginal cost curve is a very special curve. It is very distinct with some general traits. Traits are as the output over where AVC is falling. So the output the output over where this purple curve is falling. MVC, this or MC, the marginal cost curve is actually below the AVC. So know that when average variable cost, the output over where average variable cost is falling, MC will always be below AVC. But as the output is over where AVC is rising, when it starts rising, the MVMC is above MVC. The output where AVC is at the minimum, this is the lowest point, then the marginal cost is equal to AVC. So this is how I actually remembered it when I was doing microeconomics. When it falls, then marginal cost is below AVC. When it rises, uh, when AVC rises, marginal cost is above marginal cost is above AVC. When AVC is at the minimum point, I know that marginal cost is equal to AVC. And that's where I'll leave off. We'll continue this later in the next video. Please rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.